的就在板桥。
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Kenny, with all the switching now defensively, it's so valuable to have a big man who can pass out of those double teams and make plays for other guys.
Giannis, number one. Jokic, number two. LeBron is obviously number 1A. Big guy who can pass because, we forget that he's 6'9", 6'10".
And don't forget about Embiid as a true center.
He has gotten better.
He's a good enough passer. Their problem is they just don't space the floor as well as they need to.
So the opening lineup for the Heat, Collins is out there with Adebayo. Then it's Anthony, then there's Jimmy Butler, and it's Weaver in at the two-guard spot. And for Brooklyn, we've got Harden. Junior's out there with Durant, then there's Irving, and it's Robinson in at the center, filling out the middle. And so it's the Nets getting on the board first. Butler attacking over Junior, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's going to be on Junior.
That's what you get from Jimmy Butler. Consistently a tireless worker and driving the ball to the hoop.
And so Butler nails both of them. Kenny, your shot mechanics look polished, even back in college. Some guys take longer to have that thing look smooth and make some sense optically.
Well, it's repetition more than the visual. So the more I actually shot the ball and my left hand stays on too long, so I had a side spin. It didn't have a natural revolution. So Marcus Smart comes to mind, Lonzo Ball, but the repetition will help.
There are some guys that, some of the great shooters don't have great. Ray Allen, Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe shot it with
Larry
a little
Bird's
Larry
form
Bird
was different.
But, they perfected it.
And it's Junior missing.
Out of character for him to miss that shot. Maybe just a little too casual there.
Here's Adebayo. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
For his career, Bam shooting a high percentage from the field because he typically takes good shots.
Looking at the top 5 picks in the 2018 draft, Kenny, all of them have shown good play, tremendous promise. But if you could choose one for your team, which one would it be? The Doncic and Young and Jackson and Ayton and
if I had to go over and pick it now,
there's so many of them.
Man, I'm going straight with Doncic.
There could be only one. It's not even close. The Doncic is the only guy on that list that, when it's all said and done, he's got a chance to be a top 10 all-time player.
Yeah, you know what he reminds me of? A more aggressive deadlift shrimp.
Ooh, I think even more than that. To me, he's a combination. I heard Larry and Magic. He's a combination of Larry and LeBron. Because
I can see that.
Magic wasn't like the scorer that those two are. Like, those guys are scorers.
Yeah, I get it.
And then great passing ability. And the other thing about him, he's a better athlete, and he's a tremendous rebounder. That guy is special.
Here's Anthony. Mitchell Robinson making his last shot. Every player has that moment when they know it's their last season in the league. The body tells them, the mind probably leads them in that direction. Did you know, Kenny, when it was time to retire?
When the paycheck stopped coming, I was like, I think it's time to give it up.
No, your body, right?
Oh, my body.
Yeah.
That was one reason. But then there's a play in basketball when you get a steal. You take a picture back to see who's chasing you. And when you realize when you're young, guys don't chase you. They have that body language. They're not coming after you. But when you turn around and they all have that body language like they're coming after you, it's time to retire.
Man, the funny thing for me, being more of a defensive player, I never forget, it was a loose ball, like at half court, and I was like 5-6 feet from it. And I looked at it and I said to myself, can I get that? And by the time I processed it,
it was gone.
Yeah,
it was gone.
I went home and cried that night. True story, because I knew
really
time to hang him up, baby.
Yeah. How old were you?
I was 34.
You know who the real guy made me retire?
Who?
Darryl Armstrong. It was a preseason game. I was with Detroit, and this guy full pressure me, and I couldn't really bring the ball. I couldn't bring the ball up. I couldn't bring it up. I had to let somebody else bring the ball up. He was pressuring me. I was like, it's time.
Now Brown, after Cole Anthony missed from long range.
Rising up with force. Junior wasn't going to lay it in, locking it in on the throwdown.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
It's Porter outside. They get the rebound. Valanciunas. No good. They had a chance to end the run there. And here's Brown. He'll bring it up for Brooklyn. 6-point lead to the inside. They get a hand on it. Poirier passes to Junior, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Give Junior credit. I like how he doesn't let tough defense stop him from trying to score.
And Miami making a change here. Conley's checked in, and both free throws good for Junior.
And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
Now a timeout called by Miami.
Let's see if Coach can get them back on the right track.
Because right now it feels like the pace is being dictated to them. They need to go back to playing their brand of basketball.
Valanciunas finds Porter. Anthony down low. He's covered by Brown.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Floats it up for Junior. Pass to Poirier. Brown outside. Down low. And Junior gets it to go on the assist by Brown. Junior's got 8.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. So it's Brooklyn now. And so it's the Brooklyn Nets going into the break with a 10-point lead. They're shooting the ball. So naturally a ball-dominant player. James Harden.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. Of course, playing off the ball is something that I'm comfortable doing. Like I'm able to catch and shoot. I'm able to play off, on the wings.
Giving their offense another dynamic. Shooting the 6th attempt at the free throw line tonight. On the court for the Heat, they've got Adebayo. Collins is out there with Jimmy Butler. And it's Reed in at the 4-man position. Kenny, you've been an NBA analyst for over 2 decades, which is hard for me to believe. You look so young, like you go out there and play right now, but I'm sure this job has changed for you in that time, right?
I think the job has not changed, actually. Because when I first got here, I used to watch film every day. And
when
actually,
you first started as an analyst?
Every day for 1 year.
Did you?
Every day.
And then you found out that what?
I found out, I sat with the executive producer and I figured out what I needed to say to him, why, when, and what. Then I just use that now. I just go back to those meetings then. There's nothing changed for me from that first year, which I knew nothing, to now, after I knew something.
Being the award-winning broadcaster you are now.
It's that first year.
Yeah, I would concur with His Majesty. The Jet.
Thank you. Thank you. I've never been called His Majesty.
I know. He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. Junior, in his last outing against the Nuggets, put on a show. He dropped in 55 points, and it seemed like every shot he put up was going in. That's how dialed in he was. His numbers were off the charts. He was unguardable, and he knew it. took advantage of it. Devin, back to you.
Okay, David, thanks. It'll be interesting to see, Greg, how much of that performance carries over to tonight.
And Kevin, different scenarios call for different measures. I'm sure he'll just try to provide whatever they need for the win.
Well, that's what it means to be unselfish, putting the team's interests first. As you say, he just wants to come away with the W.
And Kenny, great to have you on the show as always. You got to come back soon. Promise us you'll come back soon.
I'm coming back next week.
Good.
I am not, there's more food down here. It's friendlier down here. It's more room, man.
More
I
air.
can't wait to be
You
here.
get a little
More
more
air,
air.
everything, man. Everything's more down here.
Steve, you've had your battles against Kenny Smith when you two played, but it's always so much fun to be by his side here at the broadcast table.
Yeah, for sure. Kenny's a competitor. But more importantly, right now, he's a fantastic commentator. Great job of expressing his views on the league, and I hope we will hear from him for a long time.
Now the pass to Collins. 4 on the shot clock. Over Junior. Off the mark, and the drought continues.
All the energy.
And so it's Brooklyn. 13 points up at the end of the period. They've kept the tempo quick and the defense on its heels, and it's gotten them up big. We come back right after this. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. You look at Junior in this one, he's been everywhere.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
This is his challenge, to continue to dominate, to help them try to close strong here in the second half.
Kyrie Irving is out there with Harden. Then it's Junior. Then it's Robinson. And it's KD in at the 4 spot. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And Greg, you play with some big personalities. Talk about the best way to manage egos and conflicts in the locker room. That's a very interesting topic.
No doubt about it. You know, Kev, first thing you learn from middle school on, your team is your family. And let's face it, all families have spats, and so do teams. You just learn to never personalize those things, never leave any stone unturned. Like, don't let things fester. When there are issues, you address them. And if you're not taking things personally, you tend to be able to work through whatever issues you may come in front of.
Good advice.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Robinson against Adebayo. Collins up top. Anthony, no one around. Again, the miss by the Heat.
Starting the half with 3 straight misses. Now how they envision this one.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
This has been an impressive performance tonight. Even with a big lead, they've maintained their focus.
Timeout called, the Heat.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
And it boils down to the question, toughness. One team showing it, the other allowing itself to be bullied.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Poirier's checked in. And it's Bruce Brown in for Kyrie Irving. And then for Miami, Valanciunas is checked in for Bam Adebayo. Vonleh comes in for Collins. And Porter subbed in for Butler. Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by. Anthony. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. This is his first chance at the line tonight.
And with numbers like this, how about 87% on the year? He's been somebody they love having at the line. And they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
It's his first trip to the line.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
We hear about the extinction of great NBA big men. Do you see it that way? And if so, Greg, is the game that has changed, or perhaps a dip in the talent at that position that has changed?
You know, you think back to the likes of Russell, Wilt, Kareem, and Hakeem, and Robinson, and Shaq. Some would say, well, we just got lucky. But in a lot of ways, we still have the dominance of the big man. They just play more outside of the paint, right? You know, Giannis.
Yep.
You look at what he can do. Anthony Davis and the way he plays the game. I mean, LeBron, in essence, is a big man. I mean, you still can dominate the game as a big. It's just that you now can actually, in some respects, have more impact because you're involved in more facets of the game.
The persistence of Valanciunas paying off in a big way on the glass. He is just a tremendously hard worker.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Here's Brown. Pass to Perry. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Brown's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. And so it's Anthony bringing it up for Miami. Next game for him, they'll take on the Raptors at Toronto. That'll be the 3rd game of this 3-game road trip. Outside, Porter. Back to Anthony. Shot clock at 5. Here's Valanciunas. Banked in off the glass.
Those are the plays where you see the strength of Valanciunas. The contact didn't bother him at all.
Brooklyn leading by 20. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. And that one's good, Junior. Junior's got 7 points for the quarter.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Outside Anthony. The dish to Porter. It's hauled in by Perry. Perry's got his 8th rebound here tonight. Here's Junior, and Junior throws it down.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
It's been tremendous job of play calling and execution. They just continue to increase this lead.
Timeout called, the Heat.
And he has not been on his game here. He's forcing a lot of shots, and the team is suffering because of it. It's time for him to focus on getting his teammates involved.
And some changes here for the Heat. Reed's checked in, and Collins subbed in for Vonleh. Butler kicks to Anthony. Pass to Reed. Pass to Butler. From deep. Brooklyn with the rebound. And the pass to Junior. He's off on that one. Excellent D there from Anthony. Miami's gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4.
I can see he's pressing a little now, trying desperately to help them shrink this deficit. A little undersized at the 4, but he can get off the ground.
There's 18 seconds left here in the third quarter. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Bounce pass Anthony. Collins kicks to Porter. Miami no good on that time either. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. It's the Nets as they end the third. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Execution. This.
So for the Nets, Poirier's checked in, and Junior subbed in for Harris. And for Miami, looking who they've got out there. Jonas Valanciunas is out there with Collins. Then it's Otto Porter Jr. Then there's Jimmy Butler. And it's Adebayo in at center. Outside Collins. Poked away. Valentine with it. He's picked up by Collins. The finish, and Junior throws it down.
There's no stopping Junior right now. He's on an absolute tear and just torching the D.
And Miami shooting in this fourth quarter pretty dire at 27%. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. And so Miami again turning it over. Brown is checked in for the Nets. A fantastic mobile one block. This one deserves another look.
And those are plays that get you in front and keep you in front.
Down the stretch of last season, Greg, we saw some teams resting healthy players, even ones out of the playoff hunt. And they got fined. But is the amount, which I think is about $25,000, is that enough to discourage that tactic?
You know, I don't think it is. Not when team revenues are measured in the hundreds of millions. You got to do more to keep them honest. But by the same token, you know, if I got $200 million invested in a guy, I want to protect my investment. And so if I can rest them here or there and prolong their career, I think my organization's all the better for it.
To the paint, Junior, and Junior throws it down.
You know he's going to take a lot of shots out there. He's their number one option right now.
And Miami shooting terribly up to this point, just 30%. Some ramshackle offense play there. Weaver the pass to Hield. From about 19 feet, that one misses. And it's the Nets taking it the other way.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Nets.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And I think a great job in positioning themselves for the W here. It's win number 21 on the season.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Junior.
Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
Weaver the pass to Hield. Shot clock at 6. The 3. Miami with a new 14. Back to Valanciunas. Tries it again. And Vonleh finishes it off.
Back in the day, someone would have blocked him out, but times have changed.
Here's Higgins to the middle. It's tipped. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home, no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, David Aldridge, Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone.